Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome back to the second episode of the 2026 Fantasy Baseball Recap Show. This will be week 2 or week 3 in some cases for our fantasy baseball teams. I'll let you know by going over the records. In any case, it will be April 6th through April 12th. This is actually the week of my first son's birthday, so I'm very happy about that, and it definitely gave me more motivation to do well in all my leagues. We're going to go ahead and start with the Peach Creek Purgatory team, where we were able to come out with another victory to start 2-0 this season, 817 to 737. Now, at one point in time, I was behind by 100 points in this league, and that was mainly because of terrible starts the first half of the week. But my guys absolutely came up big for me. But realistically, no one really scored a ton of points. Matt Olson had 60 points for me, Ronald Acuna had 55, and then Nick Pivetta had 44, but he's hurt now. On the other side, Max Scherzer got me 3 points. I did not mean to start him. It just kind of happened, and he got me 3 points. Then Rhett Lauder, I thought it was a decent matchup with a not sexy Giants team. He got me 1 point. But then Framber Valdez absolutely got shelled by the Twins for -9. And then Adrian Morejon apparently has forgotten how to pitch this year and got me -16. Now, I still won by a pretty decent margin despite losing all those points and having those terrible starts. But again, some of our guys really had big games for us. Very excited about them as we move on to the adds and drops. We really had to move around with some pitching. I was very happy with what happened with the pitching, but again, wish we wouldn't have had to rely on our hitters to overcome bad starts. I'll get to those pitchers. We did add Aaron Savali, who we're keeping for this week as well. Andre Palante, who had one good start and then got shelled in the next one. The last pitcher we picked up was Sean Armstrong. He's a reliever from the Indians. Then we moved over to catcher because Edward Cuero was not doing it for us. So we picked up Mr. Victor Caratini. And then we need another outfielder because Brett Rooker went down. So we picked up Jesus Sanchez, which that was a pretty good pickup for us. I'm not upset about that at all. Now for the guys we dropped, because we added Andre Palante and told you got a good start and then the bad start, we dropped Andre Palante. We told you Edward Cuero was just not doing it for us, so we dropped Edward Cuero. We told you Max Scherzer had a bad start, then had an even worse start later in the week. We dropped him. We also dropped Kiter Montero, who had a pretty decent start, but I don't know if he's going to be someone we want to keep, which we need all the pitching we can get, so we might pick him back up. And the final guy we dropped was Sung Mun Song. I think I said that name right. In any case, still at AAA, not going to get playing time over Machado unless something crazy happens, and then I'm sure they would just move someone else over, so yeah, he's not getting playing time. So 2-0 to start the season, and this week, for week 3, we're going to be playing against the team that ousted us in the playoffs last year, so we absolutely want some revenge on him. Now we're going to move on to the Russell Matt Jim Jams team, and I tell you, for a team built around saves and holds, 8 pitchers on any given day, we lost saves 4-2. What? Despite losing saves, that didn't hurt us so much because we did come out on top 10 categories to 4 categories to 2 categories. Some of the guys that helped us to this victory did include Taylor Ward, who still does not have a home run, but he did contribute 6 extra base hits, 4 walks, and a 375 batting average. On the other hand, Brandon Nimmo hit 2 home runs for us and had 5 RBIs, was hitting 333. That's great. And the last offensive contributor was Mickey Moniak, and finally getting some stuff going. Way back in 2026, number 1 overall pick, now has moved into a Rockies offense that's doing a little bit of damage here and there. He had 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. Moving on to the pitching, Nick Pivetta had 12 strikeouts for us, but is now hurt and going to be out for a little bit. Unfortunately, it may be for this season. I don't know, though. He did have the MRI. We're waiting for those results. Oh, please, just let it be inflammation, what they're saying now, which could be a little bit, but not the whole season, right? Then we only had 3 pitchers give up any runs. So again, we have 8 relief pitchers at any given time. We did have 3 guys, all starters, give up any earned runs, which is Nick Pivetta, Christopher Sanchez, and Mr. Clay Holmes. We had a 1.4 ERA overall and a 1.1 whip. So I am absolutely thrilled with how my pitchers did this week. People I'm not happy with include Alec Bohm. 2 for 13 this week, and goodness gracious, you are starting really slow. Like, brother, holy cow, you're starting slower than Francisco Lindor. Holy cow. I also missed the good game, or good games, from Alec Burleson, so I only had him going like 1 for 4 for me, but he actually hit a home run, hit some RBIs, did some good stuff, so missed that. And then, of course, Nick Pavetta's hurt, and that's very unfortunate for us. As we move on over to the ads, you know we were going to be looking mainly at relief pitchers. We did add Alex Vesia, which was a great pickup, picking up the last 2 saves for the Dodgers. Also, Sean Armstrong, Graham Ashcraft, and Tyler Alexander. Now, I said before I didn't think he was going to be the closer, but he's picked up in some long relief, and he's actually had another save, so not bad. To make room for them, we dropped Eric Lauer, who absolutely got blasted by the Twins, which that seems like 2 guys who got blasted. And then, who was it? Garrett Crochet, who got blasted. So, woo! This Twins team might not be no joke. Let's wait until Mr. Byron Buxton gets hurt. Anyway, we also dropped David Peterson, who, again, not picking up the way he picked up the beginning of last year, really picking up where he left off, so it wasn't great. We also dropped Jared Koenig because he got hurt, and then Chris Martin. Overall, Russell Jim James is 18, 8, and 6 so far this season, so we're looking good. We're going to move on over to South Farm Institute Technology, where I tell you one thing, we should have won at least one more category, but the last day on Sunday, Abner Uribe had to blow a save, so that cost us that category. God bless America. In any case, we still ended up winning 9 categories to 6 categories to 3 categories. But man, that double-digit category would have been great. Would have made me feel better, at least. We had a list of guys that had great weeks, and we have to start with my boy, Mr. Matt Olson. 16 total bases, 2 home runs, and 5 RBIs. Taylor Ward with 15 total bases. No home runs, unfortunately, but a .375 batting average. Freddie Freeman had 11 total bases and 1 home run. And the last 2 guys both had 10 total bases. Turang had 2 home runs, 5 walks, and 2 stolen bases, while CJ Abrams had 1 home run and 2 stolen bases for me. Now on to the pitching. Nick Pivetta had 12 strikeouts for us, while Brandon Woodruff had 10 strikeouts for us, and Paul Sewald had 2 saves for us. On to the people that did do well for us. First, we have to talk about the injuries. Nick Pivetta and Brent Rooker. That's definitely not good. I'm going to miss those guys for however long they're going to be out. Also, Salvador Perez, brother, need you to pick it up, man. You were 2 for 25 this past week. Yikes. Another big yikes came from our relievers. Mr. Will Vest had a 10.8 ERA, along with Mr. Abner Uribe, who also blew a save. Mr. Brandon Woodruff, you had a bad game with 5 earned runs, but you then also had a good game with only 1 earned run, so that's good. But still, need you to have more 1 earned run games and more 5 earned run games, so work on that for me, buddy. The 2 weeks, Seth Harmon is 21, 10, and 5. So, again, doing well. Happy with what's going on, but we cannot be complacent. We have to keep winning, and we have to keep those ties out of the way. Now, we move on to the Cheese Weasels, where we are, unfortunately, falling in the standings, and that's not great. But there's still time for us to move up. With 87 points, we are sitting in 6th place, but there were a few positives from this past week. 2 home runs each from Mr. Jordan Alvarez and Zach Neto. Then we have 1 home run each from Mr. Trey Turner and Nico Horner. However, Nico Horner also had 7 RBIs and a stolen base. Chandler Simpson had 4 stolen bases for us. Apparently, I missed a stolen base because he had 5 total last week. So, that was great. We also had wins from Mr. Paul Skeens and Michael King, and 2 saves from Mr. Paul Sewald. The bad part is really just what we missed. Mr. Home run from Stephen Kwan and a 4 for 5 day from Mr. Taylor Ward. Unfortunately, we did not miss the bad outings from Abner Uribe or Brian Abreu. Both of those guys definitely have to step up. They have to do better. Hopefully, going back to a setup man role will allow Brian Abreu to figure out what's going on with his life. Because it is like a 16 plus ERA right now. Brother, they ain't going to cut it. There were no ads and drops for this week, so we're going to move on to the Kent Murphy Dingers. Now, this week, we were going against a mighty duo of Mr. Aaron Judge and Ohtani. How would we fare? Well, we won 8-0, so we overcome that fearsome duo. Some of the guys that helped us to that 8-0 win did include Mr. Zach Neto and Matt Olson and Bryce Turang, getting 2 home runs each. Turang also added 2 stolen bases, so what's up, man? Kevin McGonigal, Riley Green, and my man Hunter Goodman from the Rockies, the only good part of that team, did add 1 home run each. Then we had 3 saves from Lucas Urkic and 2, I know I said that wrong, it's Ursic, but Urkic just sounds like something from like Mortal Kombat. Anyway, we had 2 saves each from my boy Paul Sewald and Riley O'Brien, who has really come on strong for us. Did not think that was going to happen. Really thought it was going to be Jojo Romero. So I hope I'm wrong on that, bold prediction from earlier in the year. Speaking of other things I've been wrong on, not starting Nick Kurtz as of late and not starting Alec Burleson when he does well. So I've missed those home runs and RBIs and stolen bases and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we have also missed the offense from Sal Frelick and my boy Dalen Lyle. Y'all were decent picks for me this past year. Y'all were also sleeper picks for me. So let's not make me wrong on that again. As due to the ads and drops, there were a few that definitely helped us and some that, woo, glad we got rid of. We picked up Noah Cameron, did great for us the first half of the week, did not start in the second half, and that actually worked out very well because he gave up like 8 earned runs. We also picked up Andre Palante, great in the first half, bad in the second half. Good thing we didn't start him. And then we also picked up Brian King because Brian Abreu is just not doing it for me in that Astros rotation. We dropped Jacob Wilson. Man, that one hurt. That one really did hurt me because I like Jacob Wilson. I picked him up in several leagues, so that's not great, but you know what? We'll see how things go. And then we also dropped Andre Palante, but we made a trade. We traded for Brent Rooker, who went on the IL. So who did we trade for? Taylor Ward. What? That's a terrible trade. Taylor Ward's doing so good for me. Hold on. This is my thinking. Taylor Ward is leading off for the Orioles. Therefore, his only RBIs are going to come from his own home runs. And if the bottom lineup gets on base, that means they will not come from hitting third or fourth for the Angels with Sean Newell and Neto and Adele and potentially Trout getting on base in front of them. So I think this was a good long-term trade. And I also think that Mr. Brent Rooker, if he can get back on the field here soon, can steal bases and hit more home runs because he's hitting or was hitting like third or fourth with Mr. Wilson, with Kurtz, with Soderstrom. And, some of those other guys sitting in front of him. So, we'll see how things go. I don't mind it. I like Brent Rooker. Again, I think he also gets stolen bases, which Taylor Ward stole a base the other day. That was like his first this year, but that's crazy. Also, Riley Green stole a base this past week, so that's wild. I needed the stolen base last week and got the strikeout, so that was fine. But yeah, just thought it was funny. After this week's win, we are a 2-1 record. So that cheapy loss at the very beginning of the season really bothered me, but it's okay. Now let's move on to the newest team, the Cucumbas. Now this week did exactly what I was expecting. We won all pitching categories and we're not close in the hitting categories. So we have to find one hitting category that we're going to win in. Now I thought it was going to be stolen bases, but no, we didn't. At the end of the day, we each won 5 categories. Now, in other leagues, that would be a tie. That would be like a 0-0-1. But this is a league where the categories will add up throughout the year. So we had 5 wins, but also then the 5 losses. So we're still overall 3rd this year. So again, it's not bad. Still a lot of time left to play. But again, I like this because this would have wound up as a half a win, which can screw up or cost you the playoffs, which I certainly don't want that again. So 5 wins, 5 losses, not the worst thing in the world. We won all the pitching categories by a decent amount, and there were some guys that absolutely made sure we did that. The names a little more household: Tariq Skubal, Shohei Ohtani. Some of the names been around a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, they put up some good numbers. Aaron Savali and Michael Wacha. Then some names like Chad Patrick, you're like, wait, who does he play for? The Brewers. He plays for the Brewers. And they did great for me, not just the Brewers, but those pitchers. They did absolutely great for me. Won me ERA, whip, strikeouts, and wins, and obviously did enough for saves, but none of those guys. On the offensive side, Sal Sort was going crazy for us. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. Also getting eligibility, hopefully here soon, at 2nd and potentially 3rd. What's up, Sally boy? We also had 1 home run and 4 RBIs each from Mr. Yandy Diaz, Mr. Riley Green, and Mr. Dylan Dingleberry Dingler. Okay, maybe that's not the best name for him, but yeah, Dingleberry. That's what I'm gonna call him. Now on the other side, guys just can't quite find their rhythm into week 3. And I'm trying to be patient. I really am, because sometimes it takes a little bit, but come on, guys. Matt McClain, Stephen Kwan, my boy Sal Frelick, my other boy Dayton Lyle, and of course, Alec Bohm. Good Lord, dude. Come on. And then David Bednar, he had a 7.7 ERA. That's not great. Due to the ass drops, it was only pitchers. We added Michael Wacha, Aaron Savali, and Chad Patrick. Dropped Brian King, Chad Patrick, and Michael Wacha. Now let's move to the people I think you should add. And we definitely have to talk about closers, Mr. Alex Vesia. Now maybe thinking, wait a minute. What happened? Did Edwin Diaz get hurt? No, it's just Alex Vesia has had the last 2 saves. So if you need someone, especially in a holds league, saves can come and go, but holds, he's obviously a high leverage guy. He was their guy a few years ago, so that's who you want to go after. Alex Vesia for sure. The next closer I want you to look at, now he may not be the closer, but he is someone that I am very confident, Brian King. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute. Brian Abreu was a closer you talked about before. I know, and he's obviously not getting the job done. So I like Brian King. Kurt is okay. I think Enro De Lo Enos, or whatever his name was, got the save last night. But Brian King is a high leverage guy, did great, had a lot of improvement last year. And again, picked up like 25 holds for him. So he knows what it's like to be in high leverage. But again, so did Bryan Abreu, and he's just not doing well for him. This next piece of information is going to be the opposite of what I told you last week and just a general PSA. Don't have any closers for the Rays, okay? Not one. Don't have any. Just give up on them, okay? Yeah, none for them. And then to the bats, we definitely need to talk about Mickey Moniak. My man, he has hit like 4 or 5 home runs already this year, racked up double-digit runs, double-digit RBIs, maybe a stolen base or 2. It's not the sexiest name, but you need to look out for his bat in your lineup. Another 3 outfielders I think you should look at, Brandon Marsh and also Ronald Liriano. Now, both of them have a little bit of power. Both of them have opportunities to be in RBI and or run scoring situations because of that high-octane offense that they are both in. But then Mr. Liriano offers a little bit more batting average and a few more stolen bases, while Marsh offers a little bit more power and a decent batting average. But again, both of them going to be around to get in those runs because of the offense they're playing in. Another outfielder I'm going to tell you to look at because of a high-octane offense and an injury is Jesus Sanchez. He was locked away in Miami for several years, showed some spurts, showed some abilities, but no one really was paying attention to Miami, but now he is with the Blue Jays, and because George Springer is out for a little bit because of a broken toe, Sanchez is going to be able to unlock a little bit more potential, especially with Vladdy Daddy, who I hate, but is going to be able to get him around on the base pass. You also have a few other guys in that lineup that can get him around, but Sanchez himself can hit home runs, so he can get himself around and get you some more RBIs. So those 3 or 4 outfielders, definitely ones that you should look at or at least consider if you're kind of running short on them because of the injuries to Springer, to Rooker. Breaking news on Nick Pivetta, he is on the IL because of a flexor strain, which that itself could be weeks or months, but also does show signs that it could be UCL related, ulnar collateral ligament, or Tommy John surgery for individuals who don't know that. So I've already had a guy drop in one of my leagues. I'm probably going to scoop him up. See if I can throw him on the IL. If he comes back, shoot, man, he's good. It's a keeper league. Let's see what I can get for him, right? So who knows what's going to happen with that. I'm just hoping that he does end up coming back because I do have him on a few of my teams. So that'll be great if he does come back. And if I have to keep him as a keeper on my IL all year, so he comes back strong next year. But in any case, let's not talk about that. Let's not think about that. Let's talk about other good stuff, which is what we did this week. We did good. So we talked about all of our good performances this past week. Talked about some guys you should pick up. And I'm really, really hoping that these outfielders pan out for us all because I picked up several of them on my teams. That's going to do it for episode 2, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake Aiken. I'll thank you for sharing part of your day with me.